Good morning and good evening. Today we're talking to Ken from Xverse. This conversation is brought to you by Stacks Ventures. Xverse wallet is a mobile wallet for Stacks and Bitcoin. If you're an investor, please message Ken on Twitter or Discord and ask for an invite to the demo day. You can also download Xverse at xverse.app. There's also the Discord and a Telegram chat group. Ken, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Can you tell us why you started Xverse? Can you tell us how long you've been around Stacks?
Yeah, so I've been in the Stacks ecosystem since 2017 when I found out about the Stacks project. And I was really drawn to it by the vision of the founders at the time. And, I really wanted to join in and start building a decentralized internet. And this was before there was even a Stacks token or the Stacks branding. So the company was called Blockstack, which was building on the Stacks blockchain back in 2017. And I worked at Blockstack, which is now Hero PBC, for about 4 years. And I was building a lot of user applications while I was there, including a Stacks browser, the first Stacks wallet, and the developer tools that a lot of the Stacks apps in the ecosystem right now are using to integrate with Stacks. And earlier in last year, I had the opportunity to found a new company to focus on wallets for the Stacks ecosystem because the ecosystem was growing really quickly and the choices for wallets was pretty small. And there was basically no mobile wallet at the time. So I wanted to use my experience, which included working in the mobile space, to create a mobile wallet that has great user experience and you could use to hold Bitcoin in addition to Stacks. So I created a company and we developed a beta version last year. We had a public beta for several months and we launched the app stores in October of 2021. And, we've gotten 40,000 downloads so far. And, we're continuing to develop features that will make the app better. Recently, we released the DApp browser, which lets you connect to all the Stacks apps. And we're looking to build a browser extension and launch that later this year.
And I love the feature that you guys have for the DApp browser. I use it all the time, especially when I'm out or I'm at a family event and I can't be at my computer. I do think the world is going to be I do think Web3 is going to be more mobile in the future. Obviously, you guys see that too. There isn't a ton of Web3 applications using mobile apps. Do you think that's going to change in the future?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think right now it's more of a limitation of building the necessary connections between a mobile app and a wallet. But I think the tools are going to come into existence very soon, and people will be able to build mobile apps that can connect to Xverse or another wallet. And actually, we've already spoken to a few projects that want to create that kind of a flow. So it'll be a very interesting next several months when these projects come to fruition.
Do you guys see other mobile apps being built on Stacks that can leverage the power of Xverse and what you guys are building already?
Yeah, definitely. So any application that's working right now on the browser, I think would benefit from having a mobile version. And we've talked to several projects that are building mobile applications, and they've all expressed interest in creating a connection between their application and Xverse to leverage the Stacks ecosystem and the transaction signing and tokens that are being built on Stacks. So I think a lot more mobile applications will come about.
Are you surprised that you've had 40,000 downloads this fast?
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. The Stacks ecosystem has been growing so fast last year. Uh, mainnet launch for Stacks was only in, I believe, February or January of last year. The growth rate has been pretty crazy.
Are you still seeing some downloads coming in, even though the market is changing a little bit here?
Yeah, definitely. We're still seeing downloads coming in, um, and people are still, uh, using the app just as much. We're seeing a lot of activities around, NFTs, stacking, and decentralized exchanges. Um, I think the stacking part has not slowed down at all, and I think a lot of the people are just, holding their tokens regardless of what the market is doing, and I think they're long-term bullish on the whole ecosystem. So we haven't seen that slow down. Every cycle, we've seen the number of participants in uh, Xverse pool, which is our pool for stacking. We've seen the number of participants grow and the amount of stacks tokens logged increase.
For the Xverse pool, that must be growing over time, and there will come a time when you guys can do some more interesting things like developer funds or community funds too. Like if you guys ever want to have a community vote to do some of these things.
Yeah, for sure. And we've actually partnered with the Stacks Foundation uh, several months ago with a special pool in which all of the stacking rewards were being donated to Brink, which is a group that's developing on Bitcoin. And we ran that special for one cycle. And that was pretty successful. We had, I think, over a million stacks locked for that cycle. And in the future, I think we can continue to do that. These are more kind of charitable causes, or causes that people believe in and they want to donate to. So we want to have more of those types of partnerships in the future.
That's one of the things I love about Stacks that you guys are doing at Xverse too, and thinking about the long-term sustainability of Bitcoin core developers. And I know it's an initiative from Stacks, but that is so cool that you guys got to participate, and you guys are at that point now where you've been building for so long. And I know you, Ken, and you personally care a lot about Stacks and Bitcoin, and so I've gotten to know you over a couple of months and over years, just over social media. So just hearing that in the work that you guys are doing to partner with Stacks Foundation and provide Bitcoin core developers some funding, that's why we're here too. A part of the reason.
Yeah, we're definitely more into building a sustainable ecosystem, and we want to achieve this ultimate goal of building a decentralized internet. And I think some of the causes, such as building on top of Bitcoin, is pretty essential to achieving what we want to do.
Who's on the team for Xverse?
We're a team of 7 right now. I'm the sole founder, and I came from Canada, but I'm in Hong Kong right now, and we have team members from all over the world. So some of us are in Asia and Hong Kong, some of us are in Europe, and some in North America as well. So we really have we're really a global team right now. Yeah, I think this is really something that's different from outside of the industry, right? I started working remotely when I first started working in the Stacks ecosystem in 2017, and basically never looked back. So I think there are so many advantages from being able to work remotely. You can find the best talent no matter where they are. You're not restricted by the geography. Your team can be much more diverse. Basically, every person on our team speaks a language. Their primary language is not is not the language that we speak at work, which is English. So it really brings a lot of diversity into the onto the team. Yeah, it's been really interesting having such a uh, you know diverse team. Of course, there are challenges. Things like, can you schedule a meeting where everybody can attend and it's not 3 a.m. for somebody? So we're always trying to get around those kind of problems.
How do you guys think about doing like some internal team activities?
With everyone being remote, sometimes it becomes challenging to really build rapport. So what's really important is that at least sometimes you can meet face to face. So for us, we want to have kind of in-person, company retreats and things like that. Um, Sometime soon. Right now, there's still some travel restrictions because of the pandemic, so it's making that difficult. But we do want to have more in-person communication, and we're encouraging everybody to essentially have their uh, have their cameras on during meetings, in addition to just talking, because then they can really see the other person, and there's a lot of body language that doesn't really get communicated if you're just talking. So um, and then community is so important in crypto. We always ask our team members to basically participate in the community and kind of get a sense of what the users of Xverse are about, and immerse themselves in this kind of crypto culture. And we're really trying to create a team that's very connected to the user, connected to the ecosystem. And the way we're doing that is it's just we even have our uh, primary team communication tool as Discord, so that people can easily jump into a community conversation and then back into internal conversation about what they're building and things like that.
I think that's a really great idea. Going back to some of the roadmap things that you guys want to achieve, you have the DApp browser now. You have some of the your Xverse pool that you've done different initiatives with the Stacks Foundation. Uh, are there going to be other plans as far as where teams can build or integrate with an API, or is there going to be any plans down the road um, to have integrations built?
Yeah, so we want to build an API for uh, applications built on Stacks to connect with Xverse Wallet. So right now, if you are building using Stacks Connect, the app will automatically work with all the wallets in the ecosystem, including the Hero Wallet, Xverse Wallet, and um, we want to create mobile specialized packages so that if you're building a Android native app or iOS app, you can connect between your native app and Xverse Wallet. Um, and we also want to work on things like something similar to Wallet Connect, where if you are browsing a dApp on your desktop computer and your wallet is on your phone, it'll pop up a QR code, and then you can scan it with your wallet and establish a connection there. And then you could sign off on transactions that the app requests through your phone. Um, I think that will be another enhancement to kind of the experience using Stacks dApps. And then in the next year, we are looking to launch several key features, including the desktop browser extension, as mentioned before. And then also we want to integrate with the DEXs on the Stacks ecosystem to have in-app swaps available. We're also looking at building out Lightning integration, which we think is super important because Lightning is really taking off, and we've already seen some really interesting applications of Lightning with Stacks. For example, Lightning swaps, where you're able to swap through Lightning into a Stacks asset. And I also seen a demo where you could directly purchase an NFT using Lightning. So I think those things are really important, and that's what we're working towards for the next year. We want to power all the use cases on the Stacks ecosystem. So if you're looking to partner with us, definitely reach out. We're always open.
Tell us more about when you first learned about Bitcoin and stacks.
So I learned about Bitcoin a lot, like much earlier than when I learned about Stacks. And when I first learned about Bitcoin, I think the price was still at something like $50 or something like that. And it was not a sure thing where people are like, oh yeah, it's definitely going to take off. It's more like, oh, there's this weird Bitcoin thing that people are doing that's really weird, and it's like, why are people paying money for that? But I was really interested because I also had a finance background in addition to engineering, and I thought, you know what, this could have a lot of use cases in the future, but it was still super early, so I didn't get into Bitcoin, unfortunately. And I was working on another startup back in the days, but I discovered after I discovered Stacks, then I kind of jumped back into Bitcoin and saw that there's a lot of potential to be building on this system, and Stacks was kind of already down that path of building more use cases on top of Bitcoin. So while working on Stacks, we started to be more integrated with Bitcoin. And when we launched the first version of Xverse, we included a Bitcoin wallet, which was the first in the Stacks ecosystem. So yeah, that's my kind of history with Bitcoin and Stacks.
Man, I talked to so many people too, and I remember I knew about Bitcoin in 2014, but unfortunately, like you, Ken, and so many other people, it was like, well, I don't know if this is ever going to work. It's some virtual currency on the internet. No one really knows how to buy it, how to use it. There's wallets, and I don't know about this stuff. Then you fast forward, and then you hear about it during the bull runs, and then it gets quiet again. So yeah, I think that's funny because people always think, well, if you knew about it early, if I knew about it early, I would have bought it, and it was not a sure thing at all.
Yeah, definitely. And like back when we first discovered it, and you tried to get some Bitcoin and play around with it, you realize how bad the user experience was. You know, I think it was back then it was Bitcoin QT, the wallet, and you had to wait like a day for it, depending on your internet speed. You had to wait like a day or two before you can actually start using it because you had to download the Bitcoin blockchain and sync up. Nowadays, there's so many different wallets that have a much better user experience. It's just we've come so far in terms of being easy to use for users, and I think there's still a lot of improvements to make. And when we make those improvements, I think a lot more people will be able to get into Bitcoin and Stacks.
Are there younger people using the Xverse wallet, or is it mostly millennials, or are there any people that are over the age of like 45 that are using the mobile wallet?
So we don't track user data like that. And we're really careful about user privacy and all that. So we don't have a good idea of what the average age of our users are. But based on kind of the use cases, I think we probably have a more younger audience who are interested in things like NFTs, because that's where a lot of the activity is happening. And then I think also people who are looking to invest, which they might be slightly older, and instead of looking into NFTs, they're looking to generate a yield on their investments by using the stacking pool. So I think there's a really wide range of people, obviously from like like 10-year-old to like 70. It's all possible.
For the QR codes, I do imagine, and I think Asia has been well ahead of the US using QR codes. Do you foresee a time in the future where QR codes are will be ubiquitous, and you can use your mobile wallet to pay for all types of goods and services?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think uh, you know, in North America, in the West, QR codes haven't really caught on that much. For example, I was in Singapore earlier, and I went to buy a coffee, and in front of me there was 6, 7 different QR codes, different methods of payments that I could scan to pay for the coffee. Uh, and if you compare that to to the States, that you don't have that kind of choice or selection of different methods of payment. So if we are able to make Bitcoin payments kind of the standard, accepted standard in a lot of stores and merchants, um, I think it'll catch on much faster in Asia because people are already used to that kind of flow. So you can just scan a QR code on your phone, press send, and it's done. Uh, it might take some time for people in the US to kind of adopt a similar thing, but I think ultimately, like that experience is is very interesting and uh, much more convenient than using cash or some other forms of payment.
Just curious, what were the payment options? Was it Bitcoin, Ethereum?
No, they were all non-crypto, but and they were like local companies, like like Grab was one of the choices, but there were just so many different choices.
Can you tell us about your experience in the Stacks Accelerator? You've been involved with Stacks and Blockstack for a while now. Now you're in the accelerator and cohort two. What advice would you also have for others who are looking to either come from a Web 2 background and start a new company, or their company is we and it's been cool because we've had a chance to talk to other companies, and there are Web 2 companies that have a division now created for Web 3, and they're slowly but surely everyone's coming around to Web 3 and a user owned internet. But what advice would you have for people joining the Stacks Accelerator?
Yeah, I think if you are transitioning from a Web 2.0 to Web 3 company, definitely talk to the Stacks Accelerator or Stacks Ventures because they have so much resources that will help you get started, which you will not find anywhere else. There are programs where you can learn about smart contracts, learn how to build on top of Stacks and Bitcoin, and these are all like internal like programs that are not offered to people outside. Um, and there's a lot of connections that uh, the people at the accelerator can make for you to um, experts in uh, you know building on Web3, experts on marketing, NFTs, tokenomics, uh, you name it. So I think of the accelerators and incubators that I've had the experience with, the Stacks Accelerator is definitely like one of the top ones in terms of how much resources they have and mentorship that they can provide. The partners, Kyle and Trevor, are very knowledgeable in their field, and there's a variety of things that they can help you with that you would not be able to find by yourself. So I definitely encourage people to reach out to the accelerator if they have interest in moving their company to Web3, or if they're starting a new company in Web3.
Yeah, so this is really great, and thanks again. I know it's super early there, so I appreciate you rising at the crack of dawn for this.
Oh, thank you for putting this together. Yeah.